So the Indiana Fever, as an organization in terms of, taking care of their players, they actually are doing a good job. Look, this is an organization that was incompetent for a decade. They were absolutely incompetent for a decade. And now at least less incompetent, I guess. Because I'm going to be honest, it is a good thing, that you're hyping up your current players. You have, first of all, I don't know what the developmental pool point of it is in Unrivaled if none of the developmental pool players are going to even make a roster. I actually don't know what the point of it is because Kiana Williams got in. Nobody got in that was HVL, KK Timpson. It doesn't matter. I don't understand what the point is exactly of it. But at the end of the day, it's it is what it is. KK is getting paid just to chill. I will say, again, I won't say they're the best front office ever because you know what a good front office is doing? Everyone's like, oh, the Indiana Fever they're going out of their way to support their players. They're the best organization. I'm like, do you want to know what the best organization are doing? They're currently, checking out, especially those teams like the Valks, the Mystics, that are in and around the position of the Indiana Fever in the draft. You're going to France to watch Nell Angloma play. Angloma play? You're going to France to watch her play. You are going to every single UCLA game because the reality is at number 10, your pick is almost certainly going to come down to one of the 4 UCLA players, which is Haquez, Neepkins, Ledger Walker, Kiki Rice. Ideally not Ledger Walker, but let's say the 3 UCLA players, Nell Angloma, Raven Johnson. That's realistically the players that are in that range that the Indiana Fever are going to draft. So at the same time, when you are not scouting at all and you are supporting your team, I understand going out to support the team. It's great, but you got to scout. That being said, though, it's very clear when it comes to the Fever that they want players to have a good, experience with that team. And at the same time, look, we saw it last year. The power of friendship nearly got the Fever to the finals. I'm sorry, there's no other way. There's no other way to describe it. They, in the playoffs, outworked every team. They were the least talented team going into that playoffs. No offense, but half of their rotation would not have made another WNBA roster. Ari, who had been injured. We literally lost all 3 of our point guards. And Shea Petty had been cut by multiple WNBA teams. She'd hardly played in her career. Odyssey Sims was a hardship player for 2 consecutive years. And then the Fever signed. They were point guards. KK Timpson honestly wouldn't apply for any other team. Bree Turner was getting DMPs for the garbage Chicago Sky in 2024. She was in the rotation. And I'm trying to think who else was there. I can't even remember. Lexi, Kelsey, and Aaliyah. 2 of the 3 were either fouled out or in hospital, ending the playoff series. They nearly pulled it back against the Aces. If it wasn't for the bullshit, a couple of bullshit fouls, not only would that Odyssey Sims shot would have been to win the game, not send it to OT. But at the end of the day, it's very clear that they are good at keeping a team close. I want every one of them to play on the Fever, and they can't afford it. The only chance, Ari McDonald and Lexi Hull are going to command about the same amount of money. The reality is, so you can choose one or the other, and if you choose both of them, then the ideal thing you should do is trade Caitlin Clark. If you want to keep Ari McDonald on your team, the best thing you can do as an organization is trade Caitlin Clark, because the amount it's going to cost to keep Ari McDonald, it's not going to be an insignificant amount to replace to bring in Ari McDonald. She is going to cost $650K. Let's just work off the assumption that a max contract is $100K or is $1 million. It won't be. It'll be way higher. But let's just say if we're working off it as in a max contract is $1 million, Kelsey Mitchell is going to be a max. Sophie Cunningham, Lexi Hull, and Ari McDonald are all going to command in around $600 to $750K. And then if you're not going to just start signing everyone to 1 year deals, like that was a one-off. And you would then have to pay Aaliyah. Like there's a world where they fuck up the salary so badly that they have to give up all their draft picks to get off bad contracts. Like teams are going to do that in the new CBA. They're going to fuck up so badly in this CBA that they're going to be having to do whatever they can to get off bad contracts. And that's something that the Indiana Fever needs to take into account. And like they can't really, for me, I don't think they can afford Ari. They can't afford her. One, they can't afford it. Two, Ari and Caitlin Clark only play well together when Ari plays the two. Caitlin Clark's small forward minutes are the worst. Like, everyone talks about, oh, Caitlin Clark, look at her against the Valkyries. Yeah, she played fucking small forward. Like, Caitlin Clark played small forward. One of them, she was clearly injured. The first game against the Valks, she couldn't move. And then the second game against the Valks, she was standing in the corner. She was playing small forward. She wasn't playing point guard. Like, of course, she was playing garbage. Because they let Ari McDonald play point guard. Like, Caitlin Clark came in after the game and was like, well, I need to get better at setting screens. And I'm like, what the fuck's going on? Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Like, she's not Steph Curry. But apparently Steph White thinks she's Steph Curry. But, yeah, unfortunately, regardless, anyone who thinks the Fever running it back gives the Fever any chance of winning a title is crazy. Like, you have to take into account that every other team had injuries, including the Fever. But, like, the Indiana Fever got through a playoff series against a team that completely bottled it, choked away. And then they put it up to the Aces. I understand they were as close to the Aces as anyone was. And that is very true. Legit. They legit did well against the Aces. That being said, it was like if they run it back, the Fever are a 5th seed. They're a 5th, 6th seed if they run it back. Like, they're not. There's a reason why these players were all hardship players, and the pieces don't fit when Caitlin Clark comes back. The pieces just don't fit. The pieces that fit with Caitlin Clark are Lexi, Sophie, Aaliyah, Kelsey, and KK maybe. They are the pieces that fit with Caitlin Clark. Anyone else, you make a decision if you're the Fever. It's not even upgrade. Like, you mightn't get a point guard better than Ari. You just need a point guard that fits better. Because if you bring in Ari, if you just start putting pieces that don't fit together, just because they have some talent, that's how you turn into the Dallas Wings. That is how you turn into Dallas Wings. To say the Dallas Wings didn't have talent is wrong. Enrique is talent. Enrique is talented. Ty Harris was talented. Dejanay was talented. Melissa is talented. Maisha Hines-Allen is talented. None of their people, Louisa Geiselsuter, Zaza James, JJ Quinterly, every one of them is a good basketball player. There's a reason why on paper people had them predicted to go. Most people predicted them to end up somewhere around the 6 through 9 seed, and they were last because the pieces don't fit, because they literally picked the worst possible players to play around Paige Bueckers. And the unfortunate thing is that the Indiana Fever and their hardship players, they got a bunch of players that fit what Stephanie, not even fit what Stephanie White wanted to do, that were just talented players that were able to score. But it's like, do you want Caitlin Clark to be the system, or do you want Caitlin Clark to be a player? So that's my question. But either way, I think they're just a good organization. I think they're just good people. I think they just met up with the players they had during the season. The reality is that, like, people are like, oh, they're posting about these players coming back. They posted about every single thing Grace Berger did in Turkey last year, and they got rid of her the first chance they could get. So no, there's no way the Fever are running it back. If every one of these players are a Fever, I would be very, very concerned. I would be extremely concerned. Like, if for example, like, there are players that just fit way better. There are players that just fit. But anyway, yeah, that is a video. Let me know what you guys are thinking. I'll see you guys.